There is no shift in the majority of the central banks. They all depend on the Federal Reserve. And a lack of options is the biggest risk for everyone here. José Ricaurte Jaén, Guardian Trust, FX. Mario Draghi issued a warning that a period of low interest rates will leave the Eurozone financial markets open to risk. Will the ECB interest rate decision be combative against these proposed risks?
Well, here's another one of those situations where you can say a lot, and Draghi has been saying a lot for the last probably 24 months, and there is little that he can do. I don't expect much changes. I mean, out of the Federal Reserve, expected in about a week or so, the next ECB meeting will just provide more words than actions. What we can expect is then to be dependent upon the decisions of the Fed. Now, it's real. The risk is real, and low interest rate for a long period of time will lead to basically hyperinflation. But how to control that in an environment where you have a lot of fiscal stimulus, a lot of disorganized tax collection, and you still have countries like, well, we all know, Italy, on the brink of a collapse, and there's no way or there's no human logic where we can come up with the money. I mean, at least Mario Draghi and all the forces in the European Union can come up with the money to bail out the entire country. So not much to expect, more words as I just mentioned, but the narrative will be just the same.
China's balance of trade will be released this week, and with Donald Trump's stance on China, how will this data look?
Again, nothing will be a surprise with this one. I will be looking further down the road. The changes, and this is something that we have to learn with changes on the interest rate, changes of foreign policies, they do have an immediate impact, but the deep changes, the structural changes, they take 6 months up to a year to take effect. What I do believe is that these numbers are going to be come out satisfactory to everyone, but from here it's where we have to pay attention. Just an example to have an idea. There's just the example of U.S. steel company, steel producer. The stock is going up, and thanks to a few changes where the government, the U.S. government, it's imposed a 522% tax for those that buy Chinese steel. Now, why is this very important? Because this is just an example of the reforms that Trump will take. And not only that, it's the benefit for company producers that for many months, even years, complain about the illegal business practices that the Chinese had. So short term, nothing to pay attention. It won't be a surprise. It will be just as expected. But from here, 6 months, 1 year, this is where things are going to change, and it can start creating a little bit of conflict with the U.S. and the Chinese. But let's bet one thing. The Chinese are already deploying their resources into different markets. I will call for Africa to be one of those, and also the Middle East. Of course, at these prices and with everything that is happening in Europe, the UK, and the European Union will be the first two targets that I will consider for the Chinese to balance the equation against the US.
Bank of Canada Governor Stephen Poloz has hinted that the change in the country's interest rate could be high due to uncertainties around Canada's economy. But a consensus indicates that the rate will not shift. What is your prediction?
If you ask me what I do think based on the pattern, and this is all we have to look into, we have to look for statistical factors, the numbers, and we also have to look for the behaviors of these central bankers. Once again, nothing's going to happen. They won't make a shift because right now, most of these central banks, and I'll give you one example. Just think about what Japan did. Japan, Kuroda, for it was like two or three times, it was like, oh, the bazooka. Oh, the money helicopter. And oh, nothing happened. Why? Because they can't make it happen. They are against the wall. Most of these guys, they have only 1 or 2 bullets in that little 9mm gun. There's nothing else they can do. They have pushed their economy cycles and pretty much create disruptions that they cannot control anymore. So it's true that there are risks, and pretty much for Canada, the Canadian dollar is on the edge of what the OPEC decided or not. There are risks, yes. They lost their automobile industry against Mexico. That's gone. So now they're pretty much floating, and in a way that, okay, what is going to happen with other players deciding our future in one of the most important commodities? And then probably, if the market tends to adjust, which is not something we're looking to 2017 with all the different pressures that we're seeing from Brexit decision and now the no vote in Italy, there's something to consider that there's no shift in the majority of these central banks. They're not going to change the thing. All are dependent of what happened with the Federal Reserve. And that, the lack of options, is the biggest risk for everyone here.
Well, thank you, Jose, for speaking with us today. And thank you at home for watching. Don't forget to click back for more programs like this. Goodbye for now.